Hey you guys, this is R21 Jewelry, and there was a follower on my TikTok account who asked me to do a tutorial for making the cross card charm accessories like the one that you see here. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how to make that. So the materials that you will need, or that I use to make it, is 2mm thick nylon cord, some 26 gauge wire, about 10 inches, and about, if I can get the wire, about 5 inches, and then any choice bead of any size. Here I'm going to use 6mm malachite and probably a 4mm silver hematite. You'll also need a lighter and any kind of spacer bead. I'm going to be using this antique silver plated tube spacer. And let's get started. So here I'm going to grab my 10-inch 26 gauge wire, and I'm going to go ahead and find the midpoint here. Just kind of do a slight bend there. And then I'm going to start by adding one bead. Let's try and center it the best I can on that midpoint that we marked. And then we're just gonna pull these two here, and I'm just gonna try and center the wires, kind of bend it there so that way it's snug, and just like that. And then I'm going to grab my padded nylon pliers here, and I'm just going to straighten out these wires. Like that. And then I'm going to join these two at the top, and I'm going to add 2 beads, and I'm going to thread it through just like that. Just 1 and 2, just like that. So we're creating the base of the cross right now. And so I kind of just push it a little bit so it's snug. And then we're going to bend these 2 wires about 90 degrees to each side, just like that. And we're going to grab another bead, thread it onto one side, and another. And so here, what we're gonna do is bend that side that we're working with almost 90 degrees. And then we're going to kind of keep working with the wire, create a little bit of space in between, and thread this through. And you're gonna have to kind of work with it. So try and hold those beads as close as possible and just keep threading that wire through. You want the most snug fit you can get, and if need be, you can grab some pliers and pull the rest of that wire through. And just like that. And we're going to repeat what we did on that side to the other side. So we're going to go ahead, grab one bead, thread that through, grab another one, thread it through, and then do the same thing, bend this towards the back. And you'll want to move that wire so you can just bend it. Create a little bit of space there. thread this through. And then grab those pliers. Just kind of work with everything. Let's see. Just like that. Just like that. And so now with this excess wire, as you can see, the cross is now forming. We have the base here and we have the sides. So now we're going to complete it at the top. So same thing, I'm going to grab my padded nylon pliers and just flatten this out so that it's a little bit neater to work with. Just like that. And we're gonna thread the last 2 beads. Just like that. And you see your cross is almost complete. So now what I'm going to do, and this is personal preference, you don't have to, it's just something I do. I use my padded nylon pliers to push the beads as snug as possible. Just like that. And then I grab the top here. And I separate these just a little bit, and then I just kind of start twisting in like a braided form, a braided cable rope-like form, and I just keep going for about 1 inch to 1.5 inches. So we're just gonna keep doing that, and it'll start looking like this. So now once you've finished that, you'll grab your round nose pliers and create your loop that you're going to put through for the 2mm nylon cord. I kind of just guess. I don't really try and measure. I kind of guesstimate. You don't want it too small because then you won't be able to thread through the cord. So then I just close the end just like that. And so you'll want to make sure you have enough where the top of the cross won't be too loose right here. So that top part, you don't want it to be empty space where this bead will start flowing through back and forth. Just like that. Just kind of flatten that. And then you can, if you have any excess, you can go ahead and use your nipper tool and cut that excess off. Just like that. Okay, so now we're going to use our about 5 to 7 inches of 26 gauge wire to thread our centerpiece bead. And I actually changed my mind. I'm going to use this 4mm Preciosa check crystal bead. It's Aurora Borealis clear. I'm gonna find the center point, the midpoint here, and I'm gonna do the same thing that I did with the cross by bending this inward towards the center, just like that. And then we're going to join these two together. And you see that small like opening right there? We're going to thread this through there. Just like this. Just like that. You might have to give it a little bit of a push. Just like that. And so now we're going to work with these two wires that are sticking in the back. Just like this. And I like to do like an X formation. Almost like a figure eight, so that way my centerpiece won't fall. You can use pliers, you can use your fingers, whatever you're comfortable with. And I'm just gonna go around like that. And then just to show you a little bit closer here, so around here like this. And I'm just gonna use my pliers to fit through that spacing. And then I'm going to go in like a, almost like a figure eight. Just kind of work with this wire, just like that. And then do the same thing on this side. Like that. And so you'll want to create kind of like a little bit of a gold outline if you want. You don't have to. But I'm basically just wrapping this around where my centerpiece bead will not fall out. And you can do it whatever way works for you. It doesn't have to be this particular way. And then just kind of push this wire center, and then just work with it, keep going around however you like, as long as your centerpiece bead will not fall. And just like that. And so the back will look something like this with all of that wire work. And then you can use your nipper tool to cut the excess off. And then I like to use these to kind of pull the little parts that sometimes stick out and just put them snug in the back, just like that. And there you have it. You have your cross with your centerpiece bead and then your little loop here. So now I'm going to show you guys how to do the rest of it, so that way you can hang it from your dashboard. So I cut about 20 inches of this 2mm nylon cord. I find the midpoint. You can go ahead and see, thread your cross through. Like that. And then these parts here, so I like to burn the ends a little bit and then do this. Be careful when you do that because you can burn yourself, to be able to thread my spacer through both cords. Like that. And so what I do is I thread it all the way to the bottom, and what I'm going to do is knot both of these ends here. So one knot, another one. Make sure it's nice and tight. And then I'm going to burn these ends. And I'll just flatten it with using the lighter. Just like that. So if these were to ever come undone, at least your tube spacer will stay there, and these will block it from coming out. That's why I do it to both ends. And it also gives a more clean look to your overall piece. And also, if you don't do this, because of where you cut the nylon cord, it can start de-threading, and you don't want that. So there we have both of them. And then that's it. You have your very own card charm accessory. And this is adjustable. So after you put it through your dashboard, or not your dashboard, your rear view mirror, you can go ahead and adjust it to whatever length you would like. And every day that you go on a drive, you're reminded that God is there, right there with you, watching over you. And here's the final look to the piece here. There you go. I hope you guys found this tutorial helpful. And if you ever want to check out my website, it's www.r21jewelry.com. I will type it out in the description. I do make other pieces of jewelry for both men and women, and if there's anything on there that you like, or you're shopping for a friend or a family member for a gift or a present, a gift for whatever occasion, or even just for yourself, you can go ahead and look on there and buy any of my handmade pieces. Thank you, and I hope you found this tutorial helpful. God bless.